phones or put them on vibrate, please. To start the evening off, we're going to start off with some performances. Our MC is an icon, a lifetime achiever, motivational speaker, activist, with 235 trophies and awards in the ballroom community. He's assistant director of How Do I Look and absolutely fabulous. Please join me in welcoming Kevin Ali.
Thank you for that very nice introduction. That was so sweet. How's everybody doing? Y'all all right? Fabulous? Because we got all these yellow shirts, right? Well, I'm going to start off by talking about the first performer for tonight. He's a part of America's Next Top Models posing instructor, also runway coach for Elite Model Management, father of the Ninja, Vogue performer and runway. He's on the Tyra Banks show and he works along with Tyra as well. He's from the legendary Icon House of Ninja, none other than overall father, Benny Ninja. Destroy. 1001, get ready to punish. 1002, get ready to destroy. 1003, and hold that legendary Benny Ninja pose. Y'all give it up to him now. Make him feel. Thank you for calling on the phone. Unfortunately, I'm not at home. Care to meet me at the battle zone? Just leave a message when you hear the tone. It's Benny Ninja. Ninja, always, new way, serving it, punishing, destroy. Y'all give him what he wants. Now, work. This is the father of the House of Ninja, y'all. Y'all wanna know about this bold thing? I can't do that. It's Benny Ninja. Y'all know his name is out there, baby. He's taught many, and the House of Ninja is fast. Since 1982, the House of Ninja has been going strong in the ballroom community. It's Benny Ninja, serving the runway. Bold extraordinaire. Work is Benny Ninja. Next, we have a mentor, activist, model, photographer, teacher, ballroom walker, legendary face. Well, first he started walking face, then it became face over 30, then it became legendary face, then Models Magazine face, then face with performance, 37 years old, and none other than the overall mother of the house, the legendary house, Luna Legacy International. Y'all give it up to Luna. Our DJ C.
Fellas that were in the mood, ladies with an attitude. Fellas that were in the mood, ladies with an attitude. Fellas that were in the mood, ladies with an attitude. Fellas that were in the mood, don't just just stand there. Let's get to it. Let's get to it.
Luna, Legacy, International, Face, and more Face, Legendary Face, Face over 30, Face with performance, Luna, Legacy, International. Al, y'all give him what he want? Word, serving the face, La Cara, face, performance, Al, serving the runway, eating the runway, serving the runway, punishing the runway, eating the runway. It's Luna, Legacy, International. All right, Luna, let them know. New York City. Next we have mentor, legendary old way, designer, sewing since he was at 12 years of age, 25 years in the ballroom, a degree in fashion. And I have to say, he did something so extraordinary today. I'll wait till he comes out and then I'll tell you what that is. He's none other than the overall father of the house, the icon house of Infinity, founder Ross Infinity. I want to say before y'all get ready to clap for Ross, did not bring one of his home outfits. He decided to make one just today. Just today. And he went to the store. Hold on, y'all clapping, but y'all haven't got the story. He made this out of tablecloths. Okay? Tablecloths from Staples, was it? Oh no, we went to Walmart. Oh, from Walmart. This is a designer, honey. When you can come up and carry on, and he just did it within 2 hours. And I just really am amazed at him. You'll see some of his outfits in the film that's coming up, and you'll know what Ross Infinity is like. But he wanted to give you guys something, so this is what he did in 2 hours. Now y'all. I want to say this has been an interesting time here with Claire and Allison and Darius. It's been really wonderful. We're going to, without further ado, give you How Do I Look? Director Wolfgang Busch is sitting in the front row taking pictures. I'm the assistant director, Kevin Omni. And without further ado, How Do I Look? Community is very diverse. Some of the things that you may not have seen in regards to the balls, I'd like to tell you about. The balls are really interesting. We've had celebrities like the singer Simon walk for Best Dressed Woman before she passed away. We've had Patti LaBelle at balls back in the days, the LaBeija balls. We've had radio personalities in New York that are very prominent, from Wendy Williams. Y'all know she has a show now, who used to come and sit. How you doing? She's judged maybe about a good 5 balls, and one of them including mine. DJ Red Alert. We've had a lot of celebrities and people in the industry, like Leotis Clyburn, who's the A&R executive, Polydor Polygram Records. We've had people in the balls that have went on and done other things. You know, we had like girls that actually were in videos, picked or selected from the balls to go and be in videos. We've had people do some amazing things. It's not easy, but you know, it's fun. And you know what, the key to it is bring it. If you're gonna come, don't half step. If you're gonna bring an outfit, if you're gonna design one, if you're gonna walk a category, you have to bring it, because let me tell you something. The old saying was, they bought everything but the kitchen sink. That's not true for balls. They bring the kitchen sink, the knobs, the toilet plunger, they bring everything. You know what's in that bag. Back in the days, they had a show on, I think it was Let's Make a Deal or something, and he would go out and say, I give you $100 if you got a safe in your bag. You know, I give you XYZ if you got a belt. That's what the balls is. You have to have everything. Especially if you're competing. It's a lot of fun. I used to tell people it's like a big audition. If you rehearse and practice to be anything, you have categories that include anything besides design. You got categories like lip sync versus dance for people that actually sing. You know, you got acting categories. It's like we ask productions, say high fashion evening wear, a night at Carnegie Hall. We don't just want to see you dressed up. We want you to give us the atmosphere of that, especially if we're going to give you $1,000 or whatever. I mean, back in the days, we did so many different things. We like for evening wear, we'd come to the runway with an escort, flowers. We'd have butlers and waiters at the tables with the tablecloth, the champagne glasses and everything. We went all out. And you know, it was really like the 70s and the 80s where everything was just a trophy. It wasn't even a cash prize. But the balls have metamorphosized from that to where it's at today, where some of the grand prizes are actually $10,000. Now don't ask me, because I'm not giving away $10,000, okay? But if I'd like to introduce the cast, and if you have any specific questions that you'd like to ask, feel free to do so. We have Benny Ninja, could you come up? Luna Khan. Luna. Oh, I can see you fly by. And we have Wolfgang Busch, the director. So if there's any questions you'd like to ask them.
It's actually, in the movie I was Luna Khan because I was a part of the House of Khan, but I am Luna Legacy.
I apologize.
Questions?
Any questions?
Okay, I'll start it off. So, I have ambiance, and ambiances don't walk. Because, or as a house, legend was passed down is that balls are too competitive, and they cause so much animosity in this country. Now, so to speak to that a little bit, because I know on the film.
Any competition has animosity. I don't care if you're basketball, I don't care if you're ping pong, you're not going to want your opponent to get the best of you. You're going to want to be the best at whatever you do when it comes to a competition. Balls are no different. Did I answer that? Okay. You know, because you get people, even bowling leagues, they want to take the bowling ball and hit you with it. If you- Any more questions? Yes, lady in the pink.
For every house, how many of the contestants, or how many of the members, I guess, of a house do you think?
It varies.
No, we don't, no, that wasn't the question.
Okay, go ahead. I apologize.
Sorry. How many of the people in the house do you think are transgendered from women to men, not from men to women?
Oh, you're talking about what we call trans men. That's a new category.
Actually not, no, I changed my question.
It's a woman to man?
No. I
Okay.
changed my question.
Okay, what is it, dear?
Are just, like, gay woman.
A gay woman, a lesbian?
Yeah.
You mean how many in the house are gay women?
Yes.
It can vary. It could be 1, 2, like we
I
have
know,
all
Yeah,
female.
I know it can vary, but I'm saying.
We all have,
on
okay.
average.
I have maybe 20 in my house. Then there's houses that are all women houses, and that could be 50. It varies.
Yeah, I know it varies. I want an average.
You want us to count from New York all the way to California to Atlanta to all the Midwest,
I
all
just
the
want
states. High percentage of women that are in the balls.
because, like, from the film, I feel like it was mostly
Transgender.
men.
Yeah.
The reason why I choose certain characters was it depended on who are the individuals in the ball community that opened up doors for others. And Jamie Balenciaga is really the only lesbian who won House of the, what was it, the Mother of the Year 7 times in a row. And she's really the only one that stood out at the time, opening doors for the community. If it comes to lesbian, there is a whole lesbian ball scene that doesn't participate in that particular arena, and they have their own balls going on, and where you don't find any guys. So yes, there's lesbians and butches in this environment, but the reason why they're not featured so much was because this is to be an artistic empowerment project, and we were focusing on individuals that opened the door for the community.
Does that answer your question?
But also, there's a women scene. There's like a scene, just like we call this the Busch Queen scene, but and obviously women are part of our scene as well. But there's a whole separate scene of women that they come together. They have different houses, not even the houses that we belong to, and they participate at big balls, and there'd be like 500 women competing for similar categories, but it's all women and butches and trans men and things like that. And that exists in New York, Atlanta, Chicago, like places like that.
Because I'm from New York, or that area, so I'm familiar with whatever New York. So this is a big part of the scene at the LGBT Center on 13th Street in the Village.
On 13th Street? The gay center?
Community center.
Yeah.
What about it?
Is that like a big part of the ball scene?
No, I mean, we go there as a community center. We go there for other projects and different other things that we want to do, but it's not bar.
Actually, the Gay and Lesbian Community Center was very supportive of How Do I Look. We had the first meetings we have held at the Gay and Lesbian Community Center before we even started with How Do I Look in the editing, because I wanted to know what the ball community specifically wanted to How Do I Look to be. So we had meetings at the Gay and Lesbian Community Center, and we had several work in progress screenings at the Gay and Lesbian Community Center. So Ekta Simpson, the Director of Cultural Programming, has always been very supportive of us. So we did work, and the center has co-sponsored events for How Do I Look.
Yeah, I was just wondering, like, what's like a really, from all the balls that you made, what's like one night that's just kind of burned into your head, like, wow, never
I think each individual has their own highlight moments, and there is these magical moments, and so I'm sure everybody has stories to share.
Do you mean from our own experience, or that we each did, or from someone else that we?
It could be either like a performance you gave or a performance you watched where it just
I mean, for me personally, I have two highlights that are my favorite times in the 20 years that I've been in the scene. And you saw one of them, which when I did the Club Kid phase, and I was with the Rhinestones and the Phoenix and the Feathers, and that's one of my favorites. That actually, I was competing for $5,000, and I think I was like the third person to be, because you're judged and you battle someone. So I think I was in the last three. Was it, Ross? One of the last three, I think. So I didn't get the $5,000, but I had such a blast, and it's one of the most memorable moments, and I'm glad that he has that, because it's in my head, and the fact that it's documented, I love it. And the other ones, when I did the Egyptian effect, you saw the photograph, because the category was Model Magazine Phase, and that category is, it said Model Magazine Phase, bring it from a different country. So I was always fascinated with Egypt, and so I'm a photographer, so obviously I took my own photographs, and then in person, came out in similar attire, and I won that one. And it wasn't a lot of money, but it was fun doing. I think it was $100, I think. So, yeah. Yours?
For me, it had to be the first time I ever walked, which was the Latex Ball at the Hammerstein Ballroom. It was shoe and eyewear, futuristic, and I walked out in, I had 3-foot platforms on, and I had fire glasses and shoe and eyewear, so I had flames that were turned into glasses that shot behind my head, and I also won. So it was my first time walking, and it was my first win, so that is always going to be my highlight. Gee.
Wait, how many trophies?
Over 235, that's the last I counted. It had to be, okay, I got it. Butch Queen first time in drags. I was in a dress, a gown, a blue lame gown with splits. I had on silver pumps. I had a nice wig, I had plenty of hair. And I had just lipstick on and eyeshadow, and I didn't have all of that rouge and none of that. And because I was young, and I was 23 years old, 22, going on 23, I didn't have to shave or nothing, so the skin was smooth, so I didn't have to wear foundation. And I think the biggest thrill of it was that I came out not looking like a transgender or a drag queen. I came out looking like a real girl because I had this pretty skin, and I was young, and I was wearing a size 26 waist back then. And I won over 14 people. That was the biggest thrill. And I think the cash prize was $100, and back then that was like $1,000 today. And it was the first ball that was ever videotaped. So I'm on that tape, the very first ball, and that was the night for me.
My highlight moment was at Woolly Ninja and Kevin Arnold's ball. I don't know how many years ago that was, but it was for $1,000. Futuristic wedding coming from Mars, and I won grand prize, $1,000. Yeah, the last one you saw with the green face and the wedding look. I have many, but that's one of them.
If people could see it in the right light, which thankfully Wolfgang is helping that to be done. If anybody saw Paris is Burning, who here saw Paris is Burning? Okay, if you paid attention to Paris is Burning, a lot of it focuses on the negative things in the ballroom scene. The drugs, the hustling,
the sex, what people have to do in order to survive. When that is sold to producers, to people that we're looking to for funding, mainstream, when it's sold to mainstream, that's what sticks in their head, that's what's gonna hold us back. Thank you, Wolfgang, for not putting that in there and glorifying the horrors of real life. Yeah. If we can, if we can get people to see the truth and what we really are, we're human beings, we love, we have emotion, we love people, we love human beings, and we strive to be the best that we are, then yes, I do see it going somewhere. Vogue Evolution is the first to take it to the mainstream on a dance competition and really show America and the world what we're capable of doing. So props to them on that. And props for the mainstream allowing it to happen. Yes, I do see it going somewhere. It's gonna take a lot more fighting.
I would also like to add to that. Not just with Vogue Evolution, Willie Ninja knocked down many doors and opened many doors. And a lot of people don't know everything, and we all don't know everything. But, like a lot of people ask me about, well, you've been in the balls for, many years and what have you, but a lot of people don't know because I never state it all the time. I've made every major newspaper there is in New York City, from the Village Voice to the New York Times 3 times, to the New York Post, to all those things. So it's been in mainstream, and my part in it has always been my work for fundraisers, raising money for HIV and AIDS. So there's a positive part because they know I come from the balls, and one thing I do preach all the time, and have been preaching since the beginning of my ball history, is when I came to the balls, I had my associate's degree, and I was working in Wall Street already for like 5 years. See, and when I talk about it, when they ask me about Paris is Burning, I understand you wanted to tell that story, but you left out the people in the balls who are well-educated, such as myself, articulate, the celebrities, like I said, Patti LaBelle and Phyllis Hyman coming and walking, and people, executives from music companies, and I even had Victor Seltzer, one of the executives of TV Guide magazine, sitting on the panel. There's been a lot of positive things that the film didn't tell you about. And there are many kids today in the ball scene that I'm proud to say actually have degrees and are going to school. And it's a wonderful thing that mainstream catches things at one point or another. We also had like Andre Mizrahi, who danced on the Apollo. And he also danced with P. Diddy. He also worked along with Missy Elliott. Then you had Muhammad Omni, who was in Queen Latifah's first video, Come Into My House. So there's a lot of ballroom people that have had like individual successes that, we don't always talk about. But there's a lot of positive things that do keep us in the limelight. And I'm sure that we are far from being out of the limelight or the media because something, we have so much talent. It has no choice but to go in that direction because all the reality TV shows are using every kind of gay terminology, every type of gay. They look at these tapes, they look at the balls, they come to the balls. We had plenty of actresses in the balls from, what's her name, Lisa Ray, and and Pam from Martins, and Tisha Arnold, and what's her name, Campbell. They've been to the balls, and as a matter of fact, they still come to the balls. Out on the West Coast, we've had so many people that's been involved. We have Monique, who actually hosted one of the How Do I Look balls, and Wolfgang spent the night hanging out with her. You know what I'm saying? We have designers like, that come and give us support. If you go to the website, which is howdoilooknyc.org, you can read a lot about us. And you know something? I know that the entertainment industry, when they need new ideas and they want innovation, they come right to us. Okay? Any other questions? Yes, there. Oh, Philadelphia has balls all the time. You got one November 28th. You got one that just happened about maybe 2 weeks ago. Yeah, Philadelphia has a ball. Not only that, they got the awards ball there too, the Dorian Corey Awards Ball in February. I think Philadelphia has a ball every month and a half. You just have to, know where to look. Our website, unfortunately, doesn't list the balls, but there are other sites out there like walkformewednesday.com. It's walk for me with the number 4, Wednesdays.com. And that site, you just register and you'll find out everything you want to know about balls. You'll find out who's shady. You'll find out who's the topic of the week. The kids are fierce. They come on under these alias screen names and they try to come for you. I'm legendary for that board only because I lights them up. I don't care who they are. They come for me. I don't know who they are, but they know it's me. But you get all the information. All the balls are listed from wherever in the United States. Anything else? Anyone else? Yes, dear.
How did you get started dancing? Not just how to get involved in it, how you express yourself? You get involved in dance classes.
When he was a baby, he
For me, it was, okay, I'll go back into this story. Gay kid growing up in a small town, I was the only one in the town that I knew of at the time, or at least within my age bracket. And I felt very alone. I had a gay cousin who was older than me and noticed that I was gay and said, I'm gonna take you somewhere, but you can't tell anybody, you can't tell your family. So I said, okay, I was 15 years old and he took me out to this club. First time I went to this club was called Red Zone in New York City. And I walked in and I saw, for the first time, not knowing what it was, voguing. But at that time, my cousin had told me it was called posing. Seeing it for the first time, I saw art. I saw not just somebody being gay, it was art. Who the person was, it was Willie Ninja. There was something that Willie was able to do, which I captured on, and that was Willie was able to make music 3D. So not only did you hear it, not only did you feel it, but you were able to see it. He had the ability to do that, and it was the first time that I saw it. So what did I do? I went home, I sat in my room, I put on beats, and I practiced and I studied. I pulled arms out of sockets, I bruised myself, broke a thumb. I did everything that you could do to your body to get myself to that point. I'm not naturally flexible. I had to make myself naturally flexible. So it's a lot of work, just like learning how to walk runway. Everybody knows how to walk, but do you know how to walk? You gotta practice that. It takes practice to get anywhere. Same thing with you. You're in school, you wanna become a doctor, you're not gonna go out and just become a doctor. You have to practice to become a doctor. Same thing in the dance, in dancing and with voguing. If it's what you want, strive for it. For me, it was seeing people, and I would see what I liked out of people. Each person had something different that I liked in them, or something that they hit on, and I would take that and I would go home and I would make it mine. I would figure out how I would turn it into my move, or how I would be able to express it. And then from there, I started to grow and learn, and again, from there, I was able to interpret music my own way. So it's a building process, it's a growing process, just like being born and to who you are today. Hello. Hello. Anybody else? Now, who wants to walk a ball? Nobody in here wants to walk a ball? Somebody in the back wants to walk a ball. I was telling them that I think you guys should put together a mini ball. We'll come down and teach it too. Come down and teach you the rights and wrongs. I think that would be wonderful. Of course we can come back here. Hello? Where? You know what? Understand, this was acceptance. You cannot go wrong when there's acceptance. You know, you stay away from the people that try to bring you down in life. This was an uplifter. You made us live. You've helped us to teach. You know, we've passed on our legacy. We've passed on our knowledge to you. So this is a wonderful thing, and we thank you very much for allowing us that opportunity. We would never not come back because a culture shock, honey. I've seen cows and horses before. That could never happen. That couldn't happen. That would be an individual. It wouldn't be a group. I would never take that on a group. And I would ask the same, you know, if one person did something you didn't like, don't banish all of us because of one person, you know. That's just like saying the gay community itself, because one person went out in the street and did something, you know. We have that hatred put on us because sometimes things are seen or done and people focus on the larger community for that. And like what was being said before by Kevin, people aren't going to look at gay people, at our community and say, wow, they're loving people. People are going to look at us and say, wow, you know what they do in their bedrooms? We shouldn't be judged on that. We really shouldn't be judged on that, but we are. Yes. Amen. I love this thing. Can I get one of these to go? From the back of the car, could you slow down, please? Be careful, there's a deer on the road.
Is the ball community ever worried about it becoming too mainstream? You get like kind of being like
Thought about
packaged and patented and like almost like a product. Like once like when someone invents a product, it's great, it's nice. Like when it becomes patented.
like voguing.
Yeah, when it becomes patented and like corporations take it over, it gets watered down or it loses like its original like function and its purpose. So like, is there ever a worry of it becoming too mainstream?
Because I work in so many different communities, I have somewhat of an answer to that. There is always going to be people within a community, they see a particular art form as, okay, why can't we take that mainstream? And then there is the other group within that community who wants to keep the power to run a particular community. And those are usually the ones that either the founders or they were the kind of people that ended up taking the power or parts of the power, and they refuse to go mainstream because that means they have to give up the power. So, and I see that in, if it's the Imperial Court, is it Sage, is it the ball community, out music, I see that pretty much in all the LGBT or straight communities. So, there is people that would like to take it, but then they maybe get dragged down by the other people who don't want to take it mainstream, and they have particular ways and strategies how they can drag you down. And they will. And I have been dragged down many, many times because I always want to improve situations, but then, they just, piss you off, they drag you down, they have their ways, and then in my situation, I don't want to be associated with these kind of individuals because I have a reputation that I want to maintain, and then in general, these good people just walk away. I know it's a difficult question to answer, but because of a lot of my experience, I kind of see why things don't move forward and why communities are stuck. Like the ball community, to me they are stuck in the artistic ghetto because everybody loves to hate them in a way. And I find it very unfortunate that the most creative community on the planet is being kept in the artistic ghetto. Is it the AIDS organization? Is it the corporate propaganda machine? Is it individuals, homophobic? I don't understand why Paris is Burning is on all the television stations, and how, which is a positive, has a hard time at this point. It doesn't fit their programming because the propaganda machine likes to put the finger on particular people of color and put their finger on it and say, see, this is what this community is about. They're nothing but a bunch of what?
Drug addicts and
Right.
hustlers.
And that seems to be how it is. That's how the industry is. We have to accept it. We have to find other ways, alternative ways to get around it. And it's an uphill battle. And that's, you know, I know it doesn't really answer your question, but I want to give you a little insight.
But I mean, mainstream, I mean, breakdancing was underground at one point. It's now the thing to do, but it's not everywhere. You know, it's a special talent as well, you know.
But they didn't have a film like Paris is Burning as a you know, framework where the industry could.
No, they didn't have that, but they came out with a movie called Breaking, and they had a movie come out called, what was it, Electric Boogaloo. They had Beat Street. They had, I mean, that was all when hip hop and rapping and breakdancing was underground, and now look at it.
Well, you know something? Let's just say that every dance form, art forms come out of other art forms. I mean, nobody thought about Vogue Evolution either. 10 years ago, we didn't think about that. We didn't know that they were going to be able to do those death-defying dips. And I'm sure that it's not going to become boring because it's always changing. And the children of each generation behind us will change. And I'm sure that Vogue will change as many times as it needs to suit the era that it's in, you know? Oh, before I forget, I just wanted to say thank you to Darius.
Yes, Darius.
And I want to say thank you to Claire and Allison. You guys really, really are some good people who help me stay in touch with us. And, you know, we have a long way back.
I hope you keep in touch with us.
And I hope you stay in touch with us. And also remember, I have a internet radio show Mondays to Wednesdays called The Red Carpet. It's blogtalkradio.com/the-red-carpet, on from 9 to 11. As a matter of fact, I'm on now, but unfortunately I can't get on the radio just this minute. And if you want to just call into the show, it's 347-857-3213. Thank you again. It's 347-857-3213, Monday to Wednesdays, 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. The Red Carpet. Thank you again, guys.
Thank you all for coming. These guys have only been here for 24 hours, but I can say personally I'm going to miss them dearly. So have a safe trip home tonight. To them, to you, good night.